30 days, 5 platforms, 90 pieces of content. I did it all in 20 minutes and I recorded the entire thing. By the end of this video, you will see every single step. Here is what my Monday mornings used to look like. 7 browser tabs open. One for YouTube Studio, one for Instagram, one for TikTok, one for LinkedIn, one for Twitter, and 2 more just to keep track of what I already posted. I had a spreadsheet with color-coded columns for each platform. Copy from here, paste over there, resize this image, rewrite that caption. 15 hours every single week just on content. And the worst part? Half the time I was posting the same recycled content because I ran out of ideas by Wednesday. Sound familiar? I know you have been there. You sit down Sunday night to plan your week, and 3 hours later, you have maybe 4 posts ready. 4 posts for the entire week across multiple platforms. That is not a C, content strategy. That is survival mode. And if you are a solo creator or a small team trying to grow on multiple platforms, this is the trap that keeps you stuck. You are so busy creating content that you never have time to actually create great content. The content treadmill never stops and you never get ahead. You are always reacting, always scrambling, always one missed day away from feeling like the whole thing is falling apart. I lived in that cycle for almost 2 years before I found a way out. About 6 months ago, I found a completely different way to do this. Instead of manually creating every post from scratch, I started using a system that discovers trending content that is already proven to work, rewrites it in my brand voice with my unique perspective, and then schedules it across every platform automatically. And I do not mean some basic scheduler that just posts the same thing everywhere. We all know those tools. You write one post, it blasts it to 5 platforms, and it looks terrible on 4 of them because a LinkedIn post is not the same as a TikTok caption. No, I mean actual unique content for each platform, tailored to how people consume content on YouTube versus Instagram versus TikTok versus LinkedIn versus Twitter. Different hooks, different lengths, different formats, all generated from the same source material but optimized for each platform's algorithm and audience behavior. Today, I am going to show you that entire system in real time. I am going to start with a completely empty content calendar and fill it with 30 days of content across 5 platforms. And I am going to time myself on screen so you can see exactly how long it takes. No cuts, no tricks, just the actual workflow from start to finish. Alright, here is CFW Social. This is the tool that makes all of this possible. And right now, as you can see, my calendar is completely empty. Nothing scheduled, no drafts, zero content for the next 30 days. A blank canvas. Before we start the timer, let me quickly explain the 4 steps so you know what is coming. Step 1. Discovery. We find trending content that is already working in our niche. Not to copy it, but to understand what audiences are responding to right now. Step 2. AI content generation. We use AI to analyze those winning pieces and create completely original content that sounds like us, not like a robot. Step 3. Platform variants. We generate platform-specific versions of each piece automatically. What works on YouTube is completely different from what works on TikTok, and the system knows that. Step 4. Schedule and automate. We place everything on the calendar and set up recurring automations so the system keeps finding and generating content without us. Those 4 steps. That is the entire workflow. Ready? Let me start the timer. Alright, timer is running. The first thing I do is go to the Discover tab. This is where CFW Social crawls YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for content that is already performing well in your niche. Think of it like having a research assistant who watches thousands of posts every day and only shows you the ones that are actually getting engagement. I have my niche set to content creation and social media marketing, but you can set this to literally anything: real estate, fitness, finance, cooking, tech reviews, whatever your space is. And you can get really specific. You can narrow it down to subtopics within your niche. Look at this. It is already showing me videos and posts that are getting serious engagement right now. This video here got 200,000 views in the last week. This Instagram carousel got 15,000 saves. This TikTok is sitting at 400,000 views and it was posted 3 days ago. The algorithm is showing me exactly what audiences want to see right now. Not last month, not last year, right now. Now here is the key, and this is really important. I am not going to copy any of this. I'm going to use these as inspiration. CFW Social is going to analyze what makes each piece work, the hook structure, the pacing, the value delivery, and then help me create something original that hits the same notes. Same energy, completely different content. Let me pick my sources. I'm going to grab about 8 to 10 pieces of content across different subtopics. I want a mix. Some how to content because tutorials always perform. A couple of listicles because people love numbered breakdowns. One or two controversial takes because those drive comments and shares. And some behind the scenes content because authenticity is what builds real connection. That gives me variety across the month so my audience does not see the same format every day. Let me select them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sources selected in about 2 minutes. Each of these is going to become 3 to 4 pieces of content across different platforms. That is already 36 potential posts from just 9 sources. And we are not even 5 minutes into the timer. Now, here is where the magic happens. This is the part that blew my mind the first time I saw it. I click on the first source, a YouTube video about content repurposing that got 150,000 views, and I open the AI content view. CFW Social has already analyzed the original content. It pulled out the key points, the structure, the hooks, the emotional triggers, everything that made this piece perform well. But here is what makes this different from just running it through ChatGPT or any other AI tool. When I first set up CFW Social, I loaded my brand DNA. I spent maybe 15 minutes telling it about my brand voice, my audience, my values, and my unique perspective on my niche. That was a one time setup. Now, every single piece of content it generates sounds like me. It knows I prefer conversational language over corporate jargon. It knows my audience is solo creators and small teams. It knows I like to use specific numbers and real examples. Watch this. I hit regenerate, and within about 15 seconds, it produces a completely original piece of content that sounds like me. Not like a robot, not like a generic AI blog post, like me. Let me show you the before and after side by side. Here is the original viral post from the source creator, and here is what CFW Social created based on that same topic. Same core insight that content repurposing saves time. Completely different execution. My voice, my examples, my perspective. Different hook, different structure, different takeaways. If you showed these to someone, they would have no idea they came from the same source material. That is the difference between AI generated content and AI assisted content. One sounds like a machine, the other sounds like you, but on your best day. Now I do this for all 9 sources. And here is where it gets even better. For each source, I can generate platform specific versions with one click. Watch. A YouTube script with timestamps and chapters that is optimized for watch time. An Instagram caption with hashtags and a hook optimized for the algorithm, plus carousel slide text if I want to go that route. A TikTok script that is punchy and under 60 seconds with a scroll stopping opening line. A LinkedIn post that is professional but still engaging with a personal story angle. And a tweet thread that breaks down the key insight into bite sized points. 5 platforms, one click. And each one is genuinely different because CFW Social understands that what makes someone stop scrolling on TikTok is completely different from what makes someone click on YouTube. Let me run through the remaining sources. I am going fast here because you can see the pattern. Select source, open AI content view, regenerate with brand DNA, generate platform variants. Select regenerate, generate. Select regenerate, generate. Every single time the content comes out sounding like me. Not once has it produced something I had to completely rewrite. Sometimes I tweak a line here or there, maybe 10 seconds of editing per piece. But the heavy lifting, the research, the drafting, the reformatting, that is all handled. I am about 9 minutes in on the timer and I have already generated content for all 9 sources across 5 platforms. That is 45 pieces of unique content in 9 minutes. Now I move to the calendar view. This is the part that used to take me hours every single week. Figuring out what to post when. Making sure I am not posting the same type of content back to back. Spacing things out so each platform gets consistent coverage. Making sure I hit the right posting windows for maximum reach. It was like playing Tetris with 100 blocks and no clear picture. CFW Social has smart scheduling built in. It knows the best times to post on each platform based on when your audience is most active. Not generic best times from some blog post, your actual audience data. But I still like to have control over the content flow and the themes. So I'm going to drag my posts into the calendar manually. Watch how fast this is. I take my first batch of YouTube content and drop it into Tuesday and Thursday morning slots. That is my YouTube rhythm. Two long form videos a week, posted when my audience is most likely to see them. Instagram goes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Four posts a week, alternating between carousels, single images, and reels. TikTok gets daily content, 7 posts a week. That platform rewards consistency above everything else. And now that I am not manually creating each one, I can actually sustain daily posting without burning out. LinkedIn gets 3 posts a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That is when the professional audience is actively scrolling during their work breaks. And Twitter gets a mix throughout the week, with tweet threads on Tuesday and Thursday to complement the YouTube drops. I am dragging and dropping. This is not rocket science. But look at what just happened. My calendar went from completely empty to completely full. 30 days, 5 platforms, 93 individual posts. And we are at about 14 minutes on the timer. Every single one of these posts is unique. Not one of them is copy pasted across platforms. Each piece is written, formatted, and optimized specifically for where it is going to live. Now, here is the part that takes this from a one time productivity hack into a permanent system that runs whether you are working or not. I go to the action builder. This is where you set up recurring workflows that run on autopilot. Think of it like setting up a playlist that runs itself every week. You decide the rules once and then it just executes. I'm going to create a simple automation. Every Monday morning at 8 a.m., CFW Social will discover new trending content in my niche automatically. It will analyze the top performers and generate content suggestions based on my brand DNA. All I have to do is open the app, review the suggestions, and approve the ones I like. That turns a 20-minute content creation session into a 5-minute review session. But if you really want to go completely hands off, you can set it to auto approve based on a quality threshold. Meaning the system discovers trending content, creates original pieces in your voice, and schedules them across your platforms without you lifting a finger. 100% autopilot. I personally like to review everything because I want my content to feel personal, and I occasionally want to add a timely reference or inside joke. But I know creators who run this on full autopilot, and their engagement numbers are just as strong as mine, sometimes stronger because they never miss a posting day. The point is, you have the choice full manual control, semi autopilot where you review and approve, or complete automation where the system handles everything end to end, whatever fits your workflow and your comfort level. Let me set up two automations right now. First, weekly discovery and content generation. Every Monday, find new trending content, generate pieces, and stage them for review. Second, monthly calendar optimization. At the start of each month, the system looks at last month's performance data, identifies what content types and posting times got the best engagement, and reshuffles the upcoming month's schedule to double down on what worked. Done. Two automations set up in less than 3 minutes. Alright, let me stop the timer. 18 minutes and 42 seconds. In under 20 minutes, I went from a completely empty calendar to 30 days of content across 5 platforms. Let me break down the numbers. 93 total posts scheduled, 5 platforms covered, 9 source pieces of content turned into 93 unique posts, 0 copy pasted content. Every single piece is unique, on brand, and optimized for its specific platform. But the real proof is not in what I just did, it is in what happens after you actually publish. Let me show you my results from last month when I ran this exact same system. Here are my analytics. My Instagram engagement rate went up 32% month over month. And that makes sense because I went from posting 3 times a week with rushed content to 4 times a week with high quality AI assisted posts. YouTube subscribers grew by 412 in 1 month. That is nearly double my previous monthly average. TikTok views tripled, because I went from posting 3 times a week to daily. And TikTok's algorithm rewards that consistency hard. LinkedIn impressions jumped 61% because I was finally posting consistently during the hours my audience was actually online. And here is the number that matters most to me personally. The total time I spent on content creation for the entire month was about 2 hours. That is 4 sessions of roughly 30 minutes each. Compare that to the 15 hours a week I used to spend. 60 hours a month down to 2 hours a month. That is a 97% reduction in time spent on content. And my content is actually better now because I am not rushing. I am not scrambling for ideas at 11 p.m. on a Sunday. I am not posting the same recycled content because I could not think of anything original. The system finds the best performing content in my niche. I put my spin on it using my brand DNA, and it goes out on autopilot across every platform. Every creator I have shown this to has the same reaction. They stare at the screen for a second and then they say, "Why did nobody show me this sooner?" If you're sitting there right now thinking, "I need this," here is what I want you to do. Go to CFW Social. You can start a free 7-day trial today. No credit card required. Just sign up, set up your brand DNA, which takes about 15 minutes, and then run through the discovery process once. See what it generates. I guarantee within 10 minutes you will understand why I am never going back to the old way of doing content. And if for any reason it is not right for you, there is a 30-day money back guarantee. No questions asked, no hoops to jump through. But honestly, once you see a full month of content built in one sitting, you are not going to want to go back to the spreadsheet and 7 browser tabs. Nobody does. The link is in the description below. Start your free trial today. I will see you in the next